We have Madhu, who celebrated her birthday on February 2001. On that day, her age equaled the sum of the digits in the year in which she was born. In which year was Madhu born? So, engineers like to approximate, but as a mathematician, I like to really solve everything with perfect logic. So, perfect logic क्या है? What can her age be maximum? Right? Her age, if you're looking at 4 digits, 36 hoga. So she has to be born in the 1900s. She can't be born in the 1800s or something, right? She has to be born in the 1900s. Now, if I look at 1900, the maximum her age can be is 28, right? So you are looking at a birth year of 1970s or 1980s or 1990s, right? One of these, because she's just born in 2001, right? So let's consider 1970s. Let's say she was born in 197X, right? Now, what's the difference between 197T and 2001? So I'm looking at the difference between 1970 and 2001. That difference, guys, is 31 years. So if she's born in 1970, in 2001, she will be 31 years. Okay. Now, obviously, this sum is not 31. So she's not born in 1970. But you have to see, okay, in 1970, already 17 years are used up. Right? How 17? 1 plus 9 plus 7. That is already used up. So you are left with 14 years out of the 31 years if she would be born, right, in 1970. You have already used up 17. Now you are left with 14 years to account for. So that 14 years you have to break that up in half, right? Because आधा जाएगा 197x पे और आधा उसके age में जाएगा. So if I break up 14 into two parts, I get 1977, right? And if you check from 1977, first of all, the sum of the birth year is sum of the birth year is 24, right? And in 2001, she will be 24. Correct? If you go to 1980s, some of the digits increases and her age becomes far too less. So that will not work out. Another reason it will not work out is you will have an odd even problem. So from 1980 to her age of 2001, there's a 21-year gap. And this uses up 18, so you're left with 3, which you cannot distribute equally. So this will not work. Right? Great. So the answer is 1977. Hope you all understood how we got this without actually doing a lot of trial and error, right? So great, let's just do now all these questions that we have from students, right? One of the questions that I usually have is from non-engineers, that I am not an engineer. Will I be able to do the math? Or will I be able to crack the CAT, right? Because somehow people have this perception कि CAT में जाने के लिए engineers ही जाते हैं. But that's not true, guys. कैट में वही जाता है जो मेहनत करता है, राइट? एंड what has happened is कि engineers को, because they've already prepared for an IIT JEE exam or for a NEET exam, right? उनको मेहनत करने की आदत होती है. Okay, so they are used to at least some amount of discipline. That is one. They're also used to, what a competitive exam is like, which may not be the case for some of the normal graduates like BCom, BSc, right? But that is such a small thing. That is a very small thing, guys. आप full length test लेने लगोगे, you are at par with any engineer with respect to what a competitive exam looks like, right? So engineers doing well in the CAT is not true. People who are sincere, who are disciplined, irrespective of the background, they are the guys who do well, right? So my belief in life is कि सबको सेम अमाउंट ऑफ मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, राइट? सो कुछ लोग लाइफ में थोड़ा जल्दी मेहनत कर लेते हैं. सो दीज आर द गाइज हु हैव रेड अ लॉट एज किड्स, उनका वोकैबुलरी ऑलरेडी अच्छा होता है, तो उन्होंने थोड़ा दे रेड अर्लियर, सो देयर हार्ड वर्क वाज डन अर्लियर, राइट? Some of us who may not have worked that hard earlier can still work hard. You still have 3 months, guys, to make a difference. So 3 months is not a short time. Engineers or maths ka kuch lena. There'll be a lot of engineers. I have taught a lot of engineers whose maths is as poor. In fact, I know some BCom guys whose maths is better, right? You have percentages, ratios. We are trained to do all this discount and everything, right? So don't think that if you are an engineer, assumption is कि इसका तो मैथ्स अच्छा ही होगा. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. और अगर हम नॉन इंजीनियर है तो हमारा मैथ्स बुरा ही होगा. ऐसा भी नहीं है. आपका मैथ्स अच्छा या बुरा इसीलिए होता है बिकॉज यू हैव वर्कड हार्ड ऑन इट, गाइस. इट्स जस्ट अबाउट हार्ड वर्क. उसका कोई छुटकारा नहीं है. See, so even starting from today, guys, if you can put in 3 hours every day for your CAT prep, believe me, your preparation is going to radically change. So ये हार्ड वर्क डालना है, आपको शेड्यूल बनाना है. आई टोल्ड दिस टू यू ऑल इन एन अर्लियर फर्स्ट लेक्चर ऑल्सो कि शेड्यूल बनाना क्रिटिकल है. शेड्यूल के बगैर यू आर जस्ट वॉकिंग इन अ फॉरेस्ट विदाउट अ मैप. यू नीड अ मैप. That schedule is your map. And it's these guys who make schedules, it's the guys who are hard working, it's the guys who हर दिन discipline के साथ पढ़ते हैं, right? These are the guys who do well. It doesn't matter whether you're engineer or non-engineer. So you'll decide, correct? I'm going to work for this. Whether we should work for it or not is one of the later questions, so we'll talk about that as well, right? Another popular question comes from the engineers. Okay, I am an engineer, will I be able to cope with the English, right? So see, all of us have our problems. Non-engineers think about something else, engineers think about something else, right? So, will I be able to cope with the English? See, पूरा CAT का जो syllabus है, right? The whole of it, all the 3 sections. वो सब 10th standard तक है. Whether it is English, whether it is maths, right? Whether it is LRDI, most of us already have the knowledge to solve it. ये knowledge हमारे पास है. पर वो knowledge को we have to hone it, right? We have to sharpen those blunt knives that we have, right? We have to practice daily. Once you practice daily, your knives become sharp. You know the right moves. You can move quickly. करेक्ट. तो इंग्लिश के लिए गाइस, अगर इंग्लिश अच्छा नहीं है, देयर इज नो डिस्पेयर वेदर यू आर एन इंजीनियर, वेदर यू आर अ नॉन इंजीनियर, राइट? यू हैव टू जस्ट रीड फॉर 15 मिनट्स 20 मिनट्स डेली. वो तो मैंने बोला है आपको, करेक्ट? 15-20 मिनट्स, दैट्स ऑल. 5 to 6 days a week you have to read. I am giving you 2 रीडिंग असाइनमेंट्स एवरी डे. वो 2 रीडिंग असाइनमेंट भी आप पढ़ लोगे ना, आपका इंग्लिश का लेवल काफी ऊपर आ जाएगा, राइट? सो आई हैव टोल्ड यू ऑल कि इंग्लिश इसीलिए टफ नहीं होता है because there are fancy words. No, English is tough because the sentences are long. So you have to get used to this. It's just about getting used to it, right? First time you do something you have never done, you feel, oh my god, what vague thing is this, right? So let me tell you something interesting. I learned driving when I was 25 or something, which is a little later than some people. A lot of people learn driving when they are 18 or so, correct? So I have a very clear recollection of how I learned driving. Okay. So the thing is, in the beginning, when you learn, you just think that, oh my god, there are so many things to do. You have to take care of the gear, you have to take care of the wheel, and you have to give the right indicator and brake and accelerator. It is just too much in the beginning because you are not in control. When you are not in control, guys, you have some sort of a stress thing where time just seems to be less than what it is. When you are in control, a lot of us drive, right? And I'm sure we have been through this. When you are in control, guys, time slows down for you. You have time to do everything. You have time to change music channels. You have time to just check your phone whether वो call आया नहीं आया, vibrate क्यों हुआ, right? You have time to do all this and drive peacefully. So the point I'm making is कि whether it is verbal, whether it is maths, it is important, English हो या maths हो, right? It is important कि you feel in control, which will only happen, right, with daily practice, daily hard work, daily studying. So both questions, whether it was the earlier question, whether it is this question, right? Net thing is कि schedule बनाओ, 5 to 6 days a week, stick to it, right? Work hard, and believe me, within 1.5 months, you'll see a big change in your level of English and your level of maths. For guys who are uncomfortable with their English, I would really recommend the official guide of GMAT. Okay, यहाँ के जो RC questions है, they have very good explanatory answers. So, you know what happens, right? When we are doing English, in English, we never look for a right answer. We always eliminate wrong ones. Why should we eliminate options? That is that thinking, right? All that is very well explained in the official guide. So, I would really recommend this to you, right? Great. Let's look at the third question. My academic scores are not good. Can I crack the CAT? See, जो पेपर हम जिंदगी भर लिखते रहते हैं, right? जो 10th का पेपर है, 12th का पेपर है, all these papers, they are a different kind of paper only. 10, 12, first year, second year, so on, correct? ये सब अलग पेपर है. यहाँ पे हमें बड़े बड़े आंसर्स, लॉन्ग आंसर्स लिखने होते हैं. They require a different skill. They require a memory, memorization sort of skills. They require good organization in your answers, good structure. And a lot of times teacher has something in mind, and if you don't reproduce that, you are gone, right? But CAT में ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. CAT is basically just checking your common mathematics, common English, and if I can say it, common sense, right? So ये academic scores और cracking CAT का कोई direct proportion नहीं है. I have had students with 55%, 57% in engineering getting calls from the IIMs and converting them. Right? So don't worry about mera, history is bad. You just need to ask yourself now at this age, right? When you were 10th standard, 12th standard, you were far younger. You wouldn't have the long-term vision, right? To see where you want to go, right? And how important each of these things are. But now at this age, right? You need to ask yourself that can I just give my whole and soul to this exam? That's all. You can forget about your past and you can put in that hard work, that dedication once in your life to really change your current resume. Okay? So don't worry about your academic scores. Start afresh, work with dedication. There have been students who have cracked the CAT with poor scores also, and you can be one of them too, right? So, next question, again related. My academic scores are not good. Will I get calls? So, I understand that a lot of IIMs now actually pay weightage. So, I hope you understand कि जो पिछला क्वेश्चन और ये क्वेश्चन में फर्क क्या है, राइट? ये क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है कि मुझे IIMs कॉल्स देंगे कि नहीं, भले मेरा परसेंटाइल भी आ जाए 99.99. अर्लियर क्वेश्चन था कि क्या मेरा परसेंटाइल आएगा. ये क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है कि चलो परसेंटाइल आ भी गया, क्या मुझे कॉल्स देंगे? So see, we now have close to 21 IIMs. They all have different criteria. इसमें से कौन से IIM के क्राइटेरिया में आप फिट बैठोगे, यू डोंट नो. ऐसा हुआ नहीं है कि बहुत हाई परसेंटाइल पे किसी को कोई भी कॉल नहीं आया है. इफ you have a high percentile, if your percentile is well distributed, correct? कि VA में भी ऐसा नहीं है कि it is skewed. So if your percentile is well distributed among VA, DI, LR and maths, you will get calls from some IIMs. So don't worry. See, so first of all, it is about होगा या नहीं होगा, right? And second, it is what can you do about it? Can you do anything about it? No. Your job right now is to not get demotivated with this. Your job is to say, okay, yes, something or the other will work out. Let me just maximize my CAT percentile. Instead of thinking about the past, which you cannot change, right? It's best to work hard for your future in the present. Oh my God, right? You have to work hard for your future in the present. Focus on just getting a very high CAT percentile. Some IIM or the other will definitely call you, right? Great. Next question. Should I really focus on the IIMs? What about other colleges? See, I'm Calcutta. Before which I have done my graduation from St. Xavier's. I'm a BSc Maths student. So I am not an engineer, first of all. That is very heartening, I'm sure, to all of you. Correct? So, St. Xavier's, I'm a Mumbaiite and I have done my, graduation in St. Xavier's. So, IIM Calcutta was the first time I actually experienced hostel life. So, one thing that I would want everyone to experience is hostel life. It really opens up your mind about uh, you know a lot of things, the kind of people you will meet, the diversity. You never feel that same diversity when you are in your hometown and staying with your parents. So the whole diversity concept, and in an IIM especially, so this is hostel life diversity, but in an IIM especially, you will meet diverse people with diverse hobbies. So you'll meet so many interesting people, guys. It's not funny. In my batch, there was a national level chess player. There was some guy whose photographs were selected for some magazine, right? So you had people, of course, reading is also a big hobby, right? Sports is a big hobby. So you get people that are really so much more interesting than you would know them while you're in your hometown. So first of all, IIMs get the best people and you want to be amongst those best people. Correct? Um, Other colleges may, because IIMs get the best students, they will get, you know, interesting students also. So their GDPI process ensures that you get an interesting, diverse batch. That's why it's not the curriculum, it is not the teachers. Of course, they make a difference. Curriculum matters, teachers matter. But what really makes a difference in the IIMs is the peer group. And for that and the hostel life, guys, you should, should consider an IIM. First, as of right now, you're only looking at the IIMs. After which you look at other colleges after your CAT is over. But till then, your focus is always on the IIMs. You apply to as many colleges as you want, right? But you are only looking at the IIMs, because one reason, all these reasons I've told you. The other reason that I have not yet spoken about is the networking. Now, after passing out, right, all my batchmates are scattered across the world. Somewhere, wherever I go to travel, somebody or the other is there. They're in well-established positions. If I have a problem with a credit card, I just put it on my WhatsApp group, and somebody or the other responds very quickly. So, believe me, guys, this these group of institutes will really ensure that 10, 15 years down the line, you are in a different level of peer group only compared to other colleges. So do focus on the IIMs right now, right? Apply to other colleges, of course, but do not get your sights down. ये आपकी last degree है. After this, you're not going to study. It's unlikely you will go for a second postgraduate. So जो आपके अभी तक के सारे पाप थे, राइट, कि आप ये कॉलेज से ग्रेजुएशन किए हो, ये स्कूल से, ये सब आपके पाप धुल सकते हैं if you just get into the right MBA college. So last आपकी डिग्री है, that is what will really influence your resume. Finally, one small thing, I know I'm just overshooting time here, is कि you are maybe in your early 20s, mid 20s, right? You still have another 35, 40 years of working ahead of you, of career ahead of you, right? So ये जो career work ex मैं बोलती हूँ, you should ensure that you start off at a higher level than most people, so that this 35, 40 years of yours are going to be more peaceful than somebody who has not done his or her IIM from a great institute, right? So, not IIM, sorry, MBA from a great institute, right? So, great. Let's look at the sixth question. How do I deal with poor scores in tests? So, guys, when you get poor scores in tests, you have to ask yourself, first of all, is it a particular area, whether a section, right? So, is it a particular area? If yes, just revise that area, work on it. Okay. Second, you need to consider it, are you getting stressed? Okay. If you're getting stressed, guys, you need to work. And this is something that I'll go into a little bit later. It's the last question where I will deal actually with the kind of attitude you need. Okay. If you are stressed, this is a smaller problem. Your mental makeup, guys, can change in a minute. If you work on it, if you sit down and think logically, this can change in a minute, right? The third reason why people may get poor scores is the ability to concentrate. So I usually ask students कि अभी तुमने 3 घंटे का पेपर लिया है, how are you feeling? If students are still energetic, upbeat, they feel कि हाँ यार I can watch a movie or something, then I feel कि नहीं, they have not really concentrated. If you concentrate hard for 3 consecutive hours, right, at the end of it, mentally you will be tired. You would just want to rest for a little while, rest your mind for a little while, and then do anything else. So the common problem that I see, correct, is this problem of concentration first. So you have to start with 3 hours का अगर मुझे concentration issue हो रहा है, let me start by doing 1 hour first. So try taking a lot of section tests. See whether you can improve your concentration for these section tests. Right? Once you become more comfortable, then take 2 section tests together and then jump into the 3 hours thing. But guys, ये सब आपका within mid-September हो जाना चाहिए. Right? By 3rd or 4th week of September, you should be able to concentrate for 3 full hours. और ये जरूरी है. आप don't break up your test. Don't pause it. Don't go and take a chotu break for maybe a biscuit or whatever. Right? Ensure that you sit at one place for 3 consecutive hours and you take the test. जब तक आप ये नहीं करोगे, right? फिर आपको actual CAT में बहुत problem होगा. So ये करना जरूरी है और आपका थकना जरूरी है. दैट मीन्स आपने इसको पूरे अटेंशन से दिया है. और अगर ये इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम, देन एज आई सेड, स्टार्ट ऑफ विद सेक्शन टेस्ट. करेक्ट? इफ एरिया इज अ प्रॉब्लम, प्लीज रिवाइज. Okay, now if stress and attitude is a problem, that we'll discuss in the last question. Okay, great. Let's look at the next question. How many full length tests should I take? Yeah, students, a lot of students, they just feel like एक के बाद एक टेस्ट लेते रहो. टेस्ट लेने में थोड़ा मजा आता है ना, पढ़ाई करने में, बैठ के पढ़ाई करने में शायद इतना नहीं आता है. बट गाइस सी, whenever you take a test, so if you take a test like tomorrow, right, on Monday, that is, after the test you'll be tired, hopefully, correct? So you'll take some break, then you will score yourself. So आपका एक ऊपर ऊपर के एनालिसिस में आपके वो दिन के 3.5-4 घंटे तो चले जाएंगे और आपका पूरा एनालिसिस हुआ भी नहीं है. A full analysis of your test where you actually look at all questions, even the questions you got right, even the questions you got wrong, correct? That analysis will take close to 2 to 3 hours. So your test will spill over on your next day. So my recommendation for the number of full length tests. So first of all of them have to be taken with concentration. Don't break them up. Correct? So the week before the CAT, so the 3rd week of November or last 2 week, whatever, that's when you take 3 tests. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. At the same time as your actual CAT. So don't take a test on Saturday, the day before your CAT. तभी टेस्ट मत लो, Friday को लेके आराम करो, right? So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this is just 1 week or 2 weeks before the CAT. अभी in August, in fact August तो खत्म हो गया, September, you should be taking around 1 to 2 tests per week. And then in the month of October, you can take 2, right? And if you feel comfortable, if you're doing well, then you can start taking 3 tests. If you're not doing well, spend more time in revising, spend more time in doing section tests to improve concentration, right? But don't keep taking full length tests if you're facing major issues with stress and concentration. So keeping this in mind, right, let's say we are taking around 6 tests in September and we are taking around 10 tests in October, and then we are taking another 9 tests also in September, 3 into 3. Correct? You're looking at around 20 to 25 tests to be taken. So don't take too many tests. Don't go into 40-50 tests, guys. It's not worth it. You can practice a lot of questions, but a full length 3 घंटा पूरा के पूरा concentration, 25 tests will take you across and hopefully help you pass the barrier, right? Next question. How do I increase my speed? काश वी ऑल हैड बटन्स, राइट? एक बटन एक्सीलरेटर दबाया, स्पीड बढ़ गई, कोई दूसरा बटन दबाया, एक्यूरेसी बढ़ गई, करेक्ट? पर ऐसा है नहीं, अनफॉर्चुनेटली ऐसा नहीं है. सो गाइज, टेलिंग आवरसेल्व्स कि मुझे स्पीड बढ़ाना है या मुझे एक्यूरेसी बढ़ानी है, just telling ourselves these things is not going to do anything. You have to realize कि your speed and accuracy are not a cause. ये कोई cause नहीं है कि तुम बोलो कि हाँ मुझे speed बढ़ाना है, तुमने वो cause दिया और कोई effect दूसरा हुआ, right? These are actually effects. ये है आपके effect. Cause तो कुछ और ही है. Your speed increases because you practice enough. And you start recognizing patterns and you start doing questions more quickly, right? Similarly, your accuracy increases because of practice, where you realize the kind of silly mistakes you make, you work on it, and then your accuracy improves. So your speed and accuracy बोलने से नहीं बढ़ता है, करने से बढ़ता है. क्या करना है आपको? Practice. Okay. Another reason why speed, guys, is a problem is because people like to stay with problems. Oh God, this is like a बीमारी. ओके कि अभी मैंने प्रॉब्लम शुरू किया है, मुझे प्रॉब्लम खत्म करना है. मैंने ये डीआई सेट शुरू किया है तो मुझे खत्म करना है. किसने बोला? It is important to do as many questions as possible. That is one. It is important not to tire yourself mentally. That is two. The more you stick with a difficult question, the more your mind gets numb. So, another reason why people are slow sometimes is because they are not able to move quickly from question to question. It is important that you move from question to question. So, one strategy that has helped a lot of my students in the past, and I would really recommend, कि कोई अगर आपके पास छोटा भाई बहन है, राइट, उसको आपके बाजू में बिठाओ, या आपके पास अगर कोई औजार है लैपटॉप या फोन में, दैट कीप्स पिंगिंग एवरी मिनट, इट जस्ट पिंग्स कि ओके 1 मिनट डन, ओके 2 मिनट डन. सो उससे क्या होगा ना गाइस कि आपको घड़ी देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. इंटरनल जो आपका इंटरनल क्लॉक है उसको पता चल जाएगा आफ्टर 5-6 टिंग्स कि 1 मिनट का मतलब क्या है इंटरनली. See, घड़ी घड़ी watch देखना is just adding to the stress. You need to have a sense of time. And once you get this 1 minute का sense, right, you will be able to see कि हाँ यार इसमें 2-3 मिनट हो गए क्वेश्चन में, this is silly, I should move on. Okay, so think about it logically. If you put 1 minute per question on your 34 maths questions, let's say, right, on your 34 questions, आपके 34 minutes में आपने पूरा पेपर तो देख लिया. And then the remaining 26 minutes you can spend on questions that you think were easy. और ये जब 34 आप पूरा 1 minute spend करोगे ना, उसमें से at least you'll attempt 10-12. And in these 26 minutes you can attempt some other questions also. So don't spend too much time on one question. This thing of 1 minute ping, guys, ये आप करके देखो, आपका speed definitely improve होगा, right? Okay, 9th question, very important question. How many questions should I attempt in a particular section? Every year I get this, right? So, logically सोचते हैं, मान लो आपको या मुझको या किसी को भी कैट पेपर हम दे देते हैं सुबह 10 बजे या सुबह 8 बजे. 8 बजे मुझे उठना नहीं है, पर चलो सुबह 8 बजे कि मुनीरा, दिस इज द कैट पेपर. नाउ टेल मी हाउ मेनी क्वेश्चन शुड आई अटेम्प्ट टू गेट 99 percentile in maths? Do you think I can tell? Do you think this is a question that has an answer? See guys, this is a relative exam. Relative exam means what? Means that what is a good score depends on how the other students took it. And nobody knows how students collectively will perform in a section, in a test, till it is done. किसी को पता नहीं है. So even if you give the full paper to me, right, just before the paper, I will not be able to tell you. So my first thing is that no one can tell you. Because this even with the paper, if the actual paper, if I can't tell you, how can I tell you without knowing the actual paper? It is impossible. No one can tell you. Okay, you have to get this in your head. Second, let us say I tell you कि हाँ चलो, you need to do like 25 questions. I tell you this. क्या करोगे इसका? ये 25 का क्या करोगे? आपसे अगर 22 ही क्वेश्चन हुआ एक्चुअल कैट में, तो फिर ये 25 का क्या करोगे? और अगर आप 27-28 क्वेश्चन कर सकोगे, तो विल यू स्टॉप एट 25 के नो 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 somebody told me 25, will you stop? No. This 25 has no meaning. Even if I tell you, it has no meaning. You will just spend 1 hour just maximizing your attempts as it is. Why does the 25 play a role? So now let me tell you, why do you want to know 25? Why do you want to know, guys? Because you want to feel. You want to feel good during the paper कि हाँ मेरे 25 हो गए. But if you have this information that can perhaps make you feel good, it is a double-edged sword. It can also make you feel bad, right? Point is, guys, कि you don't want to feel at all. आप feelings को लाओ ही मत. ये paper feelings के काबिल ही नहीं है, right? You have to move beyond feelings. You have to take this paper like a robot. Take this from a 100 percentile. You think I sit and think कि मेरे कितने questions हुए? I don't even think मेरे जब तक पेपर खत्म नहीं होता मेरा पूरा ध्यान. Okay, where is my full energy? My full energy is कि क्वेश्चन करो, देखो, होता है तो करो, नहीं होता है तो दूसरे क्वेश्चन पे जाओ, होता है तो करो, नहीं तो तीसरे क्वेश्चन पे जाओ. ऐसा करके I have time. I come back and do some of the easier questions. I don't have time to think मैंने कितने क्वेश्चंस किए. टाइम थोड़ी होता है guys, right? So feeling पे मत जाओ. Try and maximize your attempt. Take this test like a robot. Okay, great. Last, what attitude do I need to crack it? So yeah, I was talking about stress. So guys, see, some of us know, अभी all of us know ourselves at least सबकी उम्र I'm assuming, right? जब मैंने अपनी cat ली थी, I was 18, right? I went to the IIMs when I was 19. Anyway, so I'm assuming that you all are around 20. Like we know ourselves for 20 years, no? So by now we know what works for us, what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, right? We know all this. So if you work well under stress, right? कि यार अभी लास्ट गोल मारना है, you've got a penalty kick or something and तो मार लेते हो, you are very good under stress, then take all the stress you want. Tell yourself IIMs is the most important college, CAT is the most important exam, मुझे तो crack करना ही है, and you will crack it because stress works for you. But if stress does not work for you, right? If stress does not work for you, then you just say it is just another exam. CAT नहीं है तो ZAT है, ZAT नहीं है तो CET है. You have to manage yourself, guys. I don't know what works for you. I know, and there are definitely these two categories of people. I have met both the categories people in numbers. You need to find what works for you, and then you need to adopt a mentality that suits it. If you get stressed, do not tell yourself, oh, this exam is important. Forget it. Don't tell yourself that. And irrespective of which mentality you are in, you must have a life. So guys, avoid preparing for more than 6 hours a day. Do a consistent, if you have time, do 4-5 hours a day also consistently. Do 3 hours तो करना ही है अभी तो. अभी enough time, you have to do 3 hours every day. But more than 6 hours मत करो. Do other things also. Do some physical activity. Go for a walk every day. Go for a jog. Right? Play a game. ये करते रहो, आपके एंडोमॉर्फिन रिलीज होते रहेंगे. Your whole system mentally, physically will be sharp. So have a good schedule. Here I am again. But now I'm not just talking about your CAT schedule. I'm talking about your whole day का. Have a good day का schedule. कि सुबह उठ के मैं ये करूंगा, नाश्ते के बाद ठीक है मैं थोड़ा न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ूंगा, या I'll watch maybe one episode of some serial whatever. Then मैं 3 घंटा बैठ के पढ़ाई करूंगा, फिर मैं एक छोटा ब्रेक लूंगा, फिर मैं 2 घंटा पढ़ूंगा, फिर मैं एक बड़ा ब्रेक लूंगा. Whatever. You make your दिन का schedule that incorporates other things also besides the CAT. So you know you'll be well balanced. This is important, having a balance, right? So guys, don't hesitate, work on it, know yourself, know what motivates you, what pushes you to do your best, and go for it, right? The CAT is crackable. It has been cracked in all sorts of situations. People who have prepared less have done well. People who have prepared a lot have also done well. right? There's no reason why you should not do well if you prepare for it properly. So अभी forget all excuses. Straight away से कि नहीं अभी हर दिन मुझे कम से कम 3 घंटा तो कैट के लिए देना ही है, right? So great guys, I hope you all enjoyed today's session.